All right, we're live. What's up, Pierre? How's it
Hey,
going?
what's going on, Christian? How
All
you
right,
feeling, man? Happy Friday.
good. Happy Friday, man. Hello, everyone. This is Christian, and this is another real estate talk with Pierre Mason, where we're gonna talk to. We usually talk to professionals, friends in real estate in the lending industry. So to kind of give you a different perspective on what's going on in the market, right, in the trenches, and share some positive and good tips, ideas, opinions on for real estate people from real estate people in the industry. Okay. Um, Everyone, if you get a chance, just like and share so we can spread the word on this information we have to about to share with you. We
Hey,
really
heads
appreciate
up,
that.
Christian. I see it. It's shared on LinkedIn, but I don't see the Facebook one like last time.
It is on my page. It
Okay.
is, I can see it on my side here.
Okay.
um,
Gotcha.
it might take a second probably to show up.
Okay.
um, you want me to send you the link?
I'm gonna look you up, Christian. All
Okay.
right.
Either way, we're really excited today. We're going to talk about how to get properties off the market with Pierre, and at the same time, how we can fund those properties, right? How we can raise some capital for your real estate business and fund these type of properties. Obviously, we're living in a market right now that is, pretty hot, but at the same time, it's been really difficult for a lot of real estate investors to find great deals, right? So obviously, the good deals are out there. We're not saying that there is none, but the thing is that they're a lot harder now to find. So the idea is today is to help you or give you some more ways to find those properties, right? And that's one of the things that we're going to talk to with Pierre. We're going to talk about how we can get access to his list of tax liens and deeds, and be able to work with us on some of these deals and be able to um, get some creative financing for that, and at the same time take advantage of the great equity that you can get access as soon as you get one of these properties, right? So a lot of them are pretty much you can get him for what he was owed on taxes. So usually it's a pretty low amount, and these properties usually have a lot of equity. Some properties they have um, some repairs to do, and some other ones they don't. So, and that's some of the things that we're going to talk to Pierre with Pierre today. Okay, so were you able to find it, Pierre?
Yep,
Yeah.
I got it,
Okay.
and
All right. Good.
sent it out to a few people who requested to
Awesome.
get
Awesome.
notified every time we come on. So I think this has been a great approach to um just giving back, if you will, Christian, being able to kind of open people's eyes to other opportunities as we trek upon a very ambiguous phase in real estate right now. We're seeing some things that for new people, they're probably saying, "What is going on?" But
Right.
for those who have been around for a while, it's looking like something that we've seen once or twice before.
Right.
And
And yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so I think this is great. I've been getting a lot of inboxes and requests for more information. So I just wanted to let the people who requested that extra information, let them know when we're going to be continuously, providing them with this value.
Yeah, and at the same time for wholesalers out there, right? Wholesalers that are looking for deals too. If they want to work with us on some of these deals and help us spread the word to the investors, feel free to get in touch with us too, and be able to and see if you can help us spread the word, right, from all over the country. It doesn't have to be necessarily from Chicago, right? We are located in Chicago, but at the same time, and most of these leads are from Chicago, but we can get access to these type of leads in other states. But at the same time, I have, in my experience, I have investors. I work with investors all over the nation, right? So, and there's a lot of people interested on the Chicago market because the Chicago market is a lot more chill than others, right? So usually it doesn't go as high as fast as Miami per se, and it doesn't go down as fast as Miami or New York or California, right? And we don't have those crazy prices at the same time, right? So we our market is I love it simply because of that, because it's a lot slower than those other big cities, right? And at the same time, you find some great deals. Um, so I take advantage of that, and I send it to everyone that I know around the country. I have a guy right now is looking for deals right here that he's from Texas, right? So some other guys from Georgia in Miami too. I mean, remember that guys in Florida. I have a good friend of mine that he's a great wholesaler. He moved out to Florida, right? He's you know living the life over there, but at the same time, the market is completely different, right? So those guys over there, they do base a lot their pricing in on speculation, right? So it's very speculative. I don't know how to say that, but there's the speculation in Florida is huge, right? So the comps, when you look at property pricing and everything, and you try to look out for comps, it's just all over the place, right? But but a lot, when I talk to them, a lot of them they say, well, no, but it's gonna praise for this much, and sometimes you don't see it on the comps, and then you look up that a few more months later, it's true. I mean, it's just going up really quick. So at the same time, this is an opportunity from people all over the country that they're looking to maybe uh, invest here in Chicago, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And truth be told, in my opinion, Chicago, is one of the very few places in the United States where you can go find waterfront properties for these types of prices.
Right, right.
Uh, so beautiful city. Despite what you may hear in the news, don't go for the banana in the tailpipe. Chicago
Right.
is a phenomenal place to invest.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously, we have issues like every city, right? So we have violence, but it's a big city, so usually, you working with people from local people from here, right? Like us, it
Right.
will be able to give you more information about what's going on in the areas, and where we want to invest and where we don't want to invest, right? So, because at the end of the day, I mean, we don't need to get into a war zone to be able to make money,
No,
right?
not at
So there is enough market here in Chicago for everyone, and there is enough for everyone to make money. So, and you don't need to get into dangerous places in order to make money. So, not at all.
correct. Correct.
So,
My approach to classifying properties, you know, prior to even researching or prior to even, looking for a property, you have to know who you want to serve, right? So
right.
we have the three classes of property. We classify them as Walmart, Target, and then you have Nordstrom's, right? So when you think about those three different types of neighborhoods, what do you see in that type of department store in
Yeah.
Nordstrom or neighborhood where you see a Nordstrom's? What
Yeah.
will you see in the type of neighborhood where you see a Target, and so on and so forth? What do you see in a neighborhood where you see Walmart? A lot of
Mhm.
these C and D class properties are great buy and hold properties.
Right.
That's that's just I have clients again, just to echo and piggyback off of what Christian is saying. I have clients that come from near and far to look in these areas that most people would say are undesirable, but they're very desirable for a savvy investor. You know,
Right.
Inglewood is an area, Inglewood, Illinois, that gets a really bad rap. But when I tell you right now, the Inglewood market is on fire.
It's booming. Yes.
It's booming.
And I think it's about time for that neighborhood, right? Because that neighborhood obviously has gone through a lot, right? And I think that it was on its way up when the 2008 crisis came over, right? And
Absolutely.
that kind of push everybody back about 10 years, right? So uh,
Absolutely.
obviously now, um, seeing that neighborhood coming back to life is great because there is so many properties in there, so much potential in there, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and a lot of investors try to get in there for the past few years, for the past 10 years, right? Uh, but it wasn't, for some of them was a little bit too early, right, for that neighborhood. But now you can see, that more businesses are coming, and obviously the government is helping bringing more business to that town, to that neighborhood. And then
And
it has,
the university is expanding over in that
right,
area.
right.
Well, yeah,
And then the attention from that came from also, um, the attention that came from the Obama Library, even though it's not there, it's not close, right? But that the Obama Library also brought that a lot of eyes and attention to that the South Side, right?
absolutely,
And even though they're not close, but it's kind of something that it benefit the whole South Side, right?
absolutely.
Um, and I think that there is so much potential in there. You just have to be able to navigate some of the challenges that the neighborhood has, of course. But uh, I believe it in that place too, and I think it's gonna come out. The same thing as the South Shore, right?
Oh
South
yeah,
Shore is, I think South Shore is overdue, right, for that neighborhood to come up. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
it's a beautiful neighborhood. It's right in front of the lake, and just you can still steal those properties for really good prices.
a really good price. I mean, case in point for those who are outside of the Chicagoland area or never been to the Chicagoland area, a case study I would strongly suggest people to look into was what happened with the and what's happening with the Bronzeville area.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, perfect example. It used to have the same type of vibe that you would get in an Inglewood type area, and now you have 600, $700,000 homes being built over on 39th and Lake Park.
And
Yeah,
and not only that, but I had an investor that was looking in that area to buy new constructions for as a rental property, to hold them as a rental properties. Okay, and there are, I mean, actually we found um, two properties in there that they're for sale right now. Brand new constructions, 3 units, right? um, each of the buildings, and you see the pricing. I mean, they're selling it for $1 million, right? And you say,
yeah,
wow. But hey, that's that neighborhood. So,
yeah.
and it's still, I don't even, I think that it's not even 50%. It hasn't even reached 50% change in that neighborhood, right? Is it still has so much to go,
All
uh,
right,
right?
a long,
Bronzeville, yeah, a long way to go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you see that all around the Chicagoland area because, again, one of the most beautiful cities, but there are places that have more opportunities than others.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. The South and West sides of Chicago for many years were kind of, overlooked and neglected.
Well,
And
the West Side too. I mean, the
yeah,
West Side, right, is
yeah,
right between Chicago and Oak Park,
yeah,
right? That all that area is has so much potential too,
yeah. Prime real estate. Prime real
right?
estate. So, a lot of what we get in our office here is, we have so many different tax buyers that we represent here. So we have something for everyone.
Right.
Hey, we have stuff all over Northside, Southside, Eastside, Westside, commercial, residential, you name it. Actually, we just got while we're here on this live, I just got a fresh list.
Right.
So there's plenty of opportunities. The way this process works is a little bit different from a traditional real estate transaction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're buying the certificate. Okay. So tax certificates will allow you to go in, pay the taxes for a property so we can make sure our firefighters, cops, schools are paid, roads are paved, etc. All the things that come out of the city's budget from property taxes. And what happens is, as you buy those property taxes, you take first position on any other debt or encumbrance that's on that property.
Right.
So what that means is now if there's a mortgage or a mechanics lien or whatever, you come first position. And by buying those taxes, after a certain amount of redemption time has passed, then you're able to go in and apply for the deed to the property. And you'll be able to take over the property. If it's an already performing asset, you can go in and just turnkey, ready to go. But if it's an asset that needs a little love, then you can go in, renovate it, and add more equity. Now,
Right.
what Christian was saying earlier is there's a
I
lot.
like those.
Yeah, we all like those,
Yeah.
Christian. But what he was saying, there's a lot of equity or ownership or value
Mm-hmm.
in these properties, or as a real estate investor likes to say, there's a lot of meat on the bone, so we can
Right.
eat. We can eat hearty, and it's profitable for us. So we're finding these properties for pennies on the dollar. Now the thing is, you have to be ready when it comes to actually purchasing. These aren't
Mm-hmm.
properties that you can go in, just put a mortgage on them or something to buy them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You have to have cash on hand.
Right.
Cash has to be your acquisition, and then from there, how you fix it up and renovate it, and whatever approach you go about doing that, that's totally up to you. But in
Right.
terms of the acquisition itself, there's a lot of different creative ways that you can gain access to that money, and we touched on that a little bit in our last meeting. And
Mm-hmm.
give it back over to Christian so he can go more in depth.
Well, yeah. I mean, the time on these things are very sensitive, right? So obviously, you have to be mindful of of the timing. So the first thing that you gotta do, obviously, like Pierre was talking about, is to make sure that you're gonna be prepared once that property that you like comes available. We are doing all the hard work of getting in touch with these people, getting those properties ready for you to buy them, right? So. But once they come and they're ready, we have to move fast. And this is not to rush anyone. It's just a matter of time. Usually, we're getting them uh, with just a few weeks from those properties being taken away, right?
Yeah,
So that's the rush. So there is no other rush than that. If we don't get them, that it's taken away, right? Somebody else is going to take advantage of that property, and he's going to buy it, or he's going to take possession of it, which usually is the certificate holder, right? The
yeah,
tax certificate holder. Usually, when that is ready to expire and be able to, he's going to be able to take over the property, and of course, what he's going to do is it's going to put it back on the market, sell it, or hold it for a rental, right? So we're trying to get before that time, right? So for that reason is that we say you have to be ready. You have to have the money in hand or financing ready to get there. Now, there is no financing available per se with a mortgage that we can attach to that right from the beginning. Why? Because it takes a little bit of time once you buy the property, once you buy the certificate, you have to go through the process of taking over the property. Once the property is on your name or your company name, then we can put a lien on it, put a loan, a fine loan in on top of it to either um, renovate the property or not, or it depends, whether it needs work or not, right? But at the same time, you can even probably cash out on it, right away, once you take over the property. Now, when I said there is no financing for that, I'm talking about the normal financing that everyone is used to, right? Or even for investors, if you think about hard money or private lending, it is that is not for that in the beginning, because there's nothing, that money is hard to use because there's nothing to attach it to, right? So there is no collateral yet, right? Until you take possession of the property. So in the beginning, what we got to do is we got to go with what we call unsecured lending or gap funding, right? Gap funding is going to help you um, get some liquid cash and be able to go and put it on the table there, get the certificate, and be able to take over the property, right? So now those type of loans are different from, because obviously they're unsecured, so they're a little bit more uh, difficult to obtain, simply because they require a little bit of higher standards, right? Why? Because it's unsecure, right? There's not nothing to secure it to, right? So there's no properties, um, unless you have a property that you have equity to and you want to pull money out of that property. That's fine. Yeah, that's another way that we can do it, right? But if there, let's say you don't have any properties to with equity that we can pull some money out of it, then we'll use gut funding to take care of these things, right? And one of the you can look a little bit more information about gut funding, gut funding that me, and in there I have a little bit more information about that type of loan, where you can find um, uh, how that works, and some of the requirements for that type of stuff, right? Type
Right.
of loan. But there's is that's one, and then the second one would be through your business, right? Getting financing through your business. Financing, it means getting business credit. A lot of people think that with new companies is not possible, but it's definitely possible. Now, when you have a new company and you're looking to get access to business credit, um, since the company is brand new, it's going to be based on your personal credit history, right? And based on your personal credit history is how much your business is going to be able to get access to, right? So it's a little bit longer to go through all that stuff. So obviously, I'll encourage everyone to just reach out